Hi, and welcome to the Flute Talk Podcast, where we talk about all things flute. If you're looking for more tips or lessons from Emily, please check out musigy.com for all the sheet music, transcriptions, albums, books, and flute lesson packages. That's musigy.com, MUSOGY.com. Also, if you're looking for posters, fingering charts, or merch, you can head over at our merch store at store.theflutechannel.com for all your flute needs. If you want to help us on a monthly basis, you can also consider joining us over at Patreon for as little as $2 a month. This helps us make more great content for you. Check the description for more info. Now on with the show. Hi everybody, welcome to the Flute Talk Podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Amelie.
How's it going, Emily?
Good, how are you?
Good. This is the Flute Talk Podcast where we answer your questions live on YouTube. And it's been, we were supposed to do one last week, but we had a little bit of technical difficulties and we're back doing the podcast. It's usually the last Sunday of every month.
Yeah.
But we had a little bit of that. So we have some questions to go through, and we've had a busy 2 months. Last time we talked, we had you had your concert with you played Boulez and you played Bartok.
Yes. With an orchestra. That was fun.
Yeah, pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then I was like a whole month of rehearsals, which is pretty amazing. And yeah, now we're back here with we're gonna have a new video coming out this week. And maybe just practicing next week too, huh?
Yeah, I'd like that.
Why not? So yeah, we have your questions here.
Okay, so we have a couple of questions. Let's start with low register struggle.
Oh my God, so much of that.
So the question is, I used to play the flute quite well. Now I have a terrible time in the low register, wanting to keep jumping up to the next octave. What am I doing wrong? Okay, so there can be different problems here, I think. First, like if you used to play and you haven't played in, let's say, a decade, and you just go and take your flute out of the case, and then you think your flute is still in perfect condition, you know.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
There, you might not realize that part of the problem might be your flute.
Yeah.
So if you have not played for a while and you take your flute out, bring it to a technician to make sure that everything's closing well.
Totally. Yeah, you want to make sure that everything's sealing.
Because that could happen.
Oh yeah, it happens often. Because like you leave the
but
flute
do you
alone.
think like, because I'm not the best with all the technical stuff, but like, do you think that if it's not in good condition, it could go up an octave sometimes on some notes?
Yeah, it could be. There could be a venting in the top that could cause that to do a sudden jump.
Yeah. Or you're just working so much harder that you get bad habits, maybe.
Yeah, it could be a bad habit.
Yeah. So there's that. So like if you haven't played for a while, no matter what, maybe go and have it checked by a technician.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so when you play in the low register, then again, it can be a lot of different things. It has to be, the embouchure has to be relaxed. I'm not sure I should say relaxed, because when I say relaxed, I'm worried that people will think like with no
control, like no preset, like with the
I mean not tight, but I don't mean like so like that it has no shape either.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to
shape
have
or structure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the right amount of. So it's stable.
Yeah,
because if it's too relaxed, it's going to be unstable.
Or if it's too tight, it could be also restrictive as well, too.
Usually people are too tight. That's the most. So I'll just show like, maybe you're smiling. You have a smiling embouchure, but the embouchure you want is going down like this. You bring the corners of your mouth down. You know, it's not very cute, but you do this, and then you put your flute and you stay like this. If you're smiling, it's going to be tight and it's going to be difficult to go in the low register. So there's that. And then there's this airspeed. So you need to have low airspeed in the low register. Right. So, so you need to have slow air and fast air in the high register. So, to get slow air, you use warm air. So you can take your hand and blow in your hand and go, then get that.
Mm-hmm.
And then even your mouth will place itself the right way to go. And then I'll play a couple of low notes. So there's that. Also, if you're not, you know, if you have an open hold,
Yep.
maybe you'll need to close some of them
Totally.
when you're starting again, because
Yeah.
maybe your technique is. So there's that. I would say for your embouchure, what you could do is play your best note. Let's say it's a G second octave.
Mm-hmm.
Look in the mirror and try to keep the same embouchure throughout, because usually there doesn't need to be a big movement outside. What's happening is more on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So when you play low notes, you want to use like as if you were singing a low note. Oh, and then that you'll use the support where you would use it to sing, same place in your belly. Oh, and then you go oh, and then you feel the support is going up, and then you can go back. Oh, I feel in my belly. You can even see it.
Oh yeah.
And then maybe you use that to practice octaves. I'll play a couple of octaves. So let's say on a G. There's not a lot of movement. There's a tiny, tiny movement here with my jaw, like, and my lower lip. The upper lip is not moving. It's just stable. So I guess it's pretty much it.
Yeah.
For low register. So find your best note, check in the mirror, and try to keep that embouchure as stable as possible throughout. If it's moving a lot, it's probably unnecessary movement that is making.
If it's happening, did they mention is it happening like every time, or is it happening? I don't remember seeing it. Yeah, I didn't say that.
Question that's a bit.
Yeah.
More general
More
than
general,
that,
yeah.
but I hope that can be helpful.
Yeah, totally. Be super helpful for that, you know. But like always have a when you say you're a long hiatus or anything like that, you really want to check up on your flute. Also, when you're practicing, check up on your own practice habits. What do you fall into naturally when you're doing practicing and stuff like that? Maybe you can change things up, make your practice sessions better. You know, you want to evaluate all your stuff.
What could be happening too?
What?
My brain is going.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
What could be happening is that you're lowering your head when you go low. Like some people do this and they go like. If you lower your head, you don't have the same.
When you lower your head,
same angle. So you have to keep the angle always the same, or it's gonna go like this or like this.
Yep.
So you keep the same angle. If you're moving, everything's moving. You know, and make sure you're not covering the whole embouchure there. And also, flute stability is so important. We tend to skip those things.
Yep.
Sometimes because we feel like it's not really practicing, but like
everything is practicing in a way, sort of.
Yeah. Plus, it's even more important than that, because like you have to make sure that when you're holding your flute, and I can't say that enough.
Yeah.
Just like none of your moving fingers are required to hold your flute.
Yeah, none.
So only the chin, the left index, and the right thumb. That's it. And it has to be stable. If it's not stable like that, then you have to figure that out. Because if your flute is rocking, it's causing so many problems.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's
cause huge amounts of problems.
For technique, for sound, because then your flute will be rocking inwards. Ooh. That changes the angle.
So much.
That changes your intonation. That makes also your technique more difficult, because your moving fingers are trying to keep the flute, so they're not free to do their job. So yeah, that's like the number one thing. And it's difficult, and we tend to skip over that, I think.
So don't skip over it, you know.
If you need a thumb board, get a thumb board.
Get a thumb board. You have to work. You shouldn't have to oblige to the flute. The flute has to oblige to you. You have to you know, you have to add things
Yeah,
to
if
it.
you can use tools that help
you
you
can,
play
yeah.
better, why not?
Why not? Exactly.
The important thing is the result in the end, not there's no
correct
yeah, there's no
way.
dogma, or there shouldn't
No
be
dogma.
one.
There shouldn't be a dogma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a question actually in the comments, which is great. Thanks so much. I think it's Jamin Gudagan. Sorry if we pronounce it wrong. Hello. What is good? What is good to have in mind when letting go of the last note in a phrase? Ooh, that is a very, very good question, I think. Do you have anything in
Well,
your thoughts there?
I think the intonation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's so easy to go on the last note. Like, I don't know, what could I play?
Any phrase?
I don't know, let's say. You see here, da. It's so easy to, you know, have that type of the, because you stop blowing, like, because probably your note is going to go in a little decrescendo. So you have to counteract the effect of that decrescendo on intonation and send the air a bit high, I think. So I don't know if that's the question. So I tend to keep that in mind. And also, most phrases are a bit like a wave. Like you go,
it's true.
you open it and then you go back.
There's a rise and fall.
Know?
There's a rise and fall.
Yeah. Like the phrase I just played. Let's say I play it again. So it goes. I don't remember. Well, that's a long. I'm not sure I know everything by heart, but that was not even the end of the phrase. It was like the end of the first part of the phrase.
Yeah, the first part of the phrase. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I would think about. Like making sure it doesn't drop, because you want that feeling that it's going back down for the energy, but not the intonation.
Not the intonation.
And sometimes the intonation goes with it. And also sometimes we have a little bit less air at the end of the phrase, so that also plays a part in that, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's helpful. Maybe ask a sub-question if it didn't.
Yeah, if you have a sub-question to that, yeah, we can always digest. If you're asking a question,
like, that's
we're
not
here.
really what I mean.
Yeah, if that's not really, yeah, exactly.
I'll adapt my answer to
that. And like, not only just, I guess, when I thought about that question was not just the last note of a phrase, but maybe even the last note of a piece, you know, like as well too. You have to make sure you have to make sure that it gives the right impact at the end too. That's part of a big phrase, which is the whole entire piece. I think like that sometimes when I think about, because it's
but
important.
That depends on the piece.
Yes,
some pieces end with a very dramatic, like a very climatic note, like da da da, you know, and then you end with that forte. But sometimes it ends like very softly. Yeah,
very somber, very like, or just goes away and disappears. Like in the ether.
Depends on the movement too. If you're playing a 3-movement piece, usually the second movement will end more like softly, but then the third will end. There's all different types.
All different types. Yeah. But I think what you were saying about the phrasing, it's very important. Like it's like a wave, and it has a beginning, middle, and end type of thing.
Yeah. It opens up and then it goes back, you know.
Yeah, in the phrase.
Usually. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying all the time.
No.
Like, that's very often, that happens a lot.
Totally.
That type of.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
Angels Devils wants to know, what should I know when buying my first intermediate flute? Oh, we have a couple good videos about intermediate flutes. I think we did one about 3 intermediate flutes you reviewed. Yeah. Well,
what should you know? Well, it's not as much like knowing, but trying, I guess.
Yeah, try them.
You have, like, I would say, try different things. So, try all the registers, low, high, medium. Try playing staccato. Try playing legato, forte. piano, because sometimes we just play a piece, you
Yeah.
know.
Don't just bring your favorite pieces. Actually kind of do some,
Yeah,
yeah.
just play stuff in. So there's that. Then you'll figure like what you prefer, and then I guess there's technical things you can know about flutes
Yeah,
that
totally.
like the split E or
Yeah.
you want to name a
Yeah,
couple?
split E, there's an E facilitator. You're gonna hear a lot of things maybe from the shop that you go to. They're gonna tell you about you know, inline G or offset G, a B foot flute or a C foot flute.
Okay, so maybe we can explain what those means, because if
Yeah,
we're just saying
exactly.
the
And if you're
names,
watching
it's not
online,
helping
yeah,
people.
totally.
Okay, so like let's say the E facilitator, it's for the third octave E, because the
That's
third
right.
octave E is a bit difficult to play, like it tends to
Yeah,
crack.
it tends to go
So
everywhere. Yeah.
that's a cool thing to have on your
Yeah,
flute.
totally.
Then the B, the low B. So some flutes end at C and some flutes end at B. Most pieces don't have a B, but if you have a piece that has a B, it's cool to have one.
Yeah.
So I would say like
Do
might
it.
as well get it.
Yeah.
Then there's a G. Okay, so some flutes have inline G, like my flute. So you know, you play your E, you play your G, the G is in the same position.
Yeah.
But some flutes have an offset G, and that's a bit more ergonomic.
Yep.
Because you don't have to bring your ring finger as far. So it's a bit more ergonomic.
Yeah.
I learned with an inline G, and I've never had any pain from it. So I would have to get I would have to get used to it if I switched. So I never switched, but I guess if I switched, it would take me a couple of weeks and I would get used to it. It's not a big deal. But a lot of people like the offset G. I don't think intermediate flutes have like a C sharp trill or
it depends. It depends, but you can ask. There are a lot of intermediate flutes that
can you explain what that is?
A C sharp trill is right beside the B flat. Is it right beside the B flat lever here in the middle of the flute, and it's an additional key to do trills with your right hand instead of your left hand.
From C to C sharp.
Correct.
Because from C to C sharp, it's a bit difficult. You're using
There's limited motion.
You're using the index finger that's already bent.
Yeah,
so
and holding. It's not free moving like these fingers here.
Whereas if you're using the index of the other hand, it's more free to move fast. So that's
it's a really good plus, and a lot of people.
Do you have one on your
No,
flute?
I do not.
Me neither. Maybe if I change flute eventually,
it'll have it there.
I'll get that.
Yep, and so you can do those things. Even there's a lot of intermediate flute makers that are very. The quality is very good in intermediate, and there's some that even can offer that additional feature on an intermediate flute. So
then, what should people know more about, like let's say head joints?
You know, if you have the option to try multiple head joints at your shop, do it, and if your budget allows it, ask them if they can either add tape or something to fit inside the barrel of the flute that you like to switch it around, and they'll proudly facilitate that for you. And then try it. Try it with the different matches. Maybe some are more undercut than others. Some are more overcut than others.
There's different cuts.
You're going to hear cuts. You're going to hear wave. You're going to hear cut and wave a lot because there's a lot of wave head joints now. So
what are those?
Those are just like sort of built. There's two different types. There's like wing tips that are soldered on top of the lip plate, which sort of guide. That's coming in and out of fashion. I don't know. I've only seen certain flutists with that. And then there's some that are actually, the lip plate itself is designed differently and has more of a shape. And that's just to kind of better facilitate the grip. And also there are inner workings inside of the in the cutting of the tube as well.
Yeah.
That is happening. So
what I learned, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, what I learned is that some flutes direct the air a bit more.
That's right.
Some head joints than others. When you have that type of head joint, it's a bit easier to play.
Yeah.
But then if you want to do different colors,
That's right.
it's more limited because the air is sent in one spot. Whereas if you play on a head joint that's less like that,
that's right,
you're going to get more expressivity possibilities to express, to get different types of sounds, but it requires more control, I guess, and
Yeah.
more expertise,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
So it depends if you want always a good sound or if you want to have a big palette of sounds, I guess.
Absolutely. There are like kind of two ways of cutting a flute head joint in general. Let's say general. There's obviously many intricacies in between, but there's a specific cut that a lot of manufacturers use that is like the go-to, sort of like the Nissan or the Toyota of cuts. You know, it's always going to be reliable in a pinch, but it won't be that Lamborghini or that super fast car that you want. They can travel across faster than anything else. Then there's the open one, the one that's a bit more signatured, a bit more larger bore, larger hole, a little bit larger tends to be for the instrumentalist to explore more with their embouchure in relation to the hole. Also, the height is different too, to a certain extent, from where the base of the head joint is to where the lip plate begins. There's an actual tube that's changed too a little bit. So those things tend to add and it's more material. So remember, they're adding more material to the more fancier head joints.
Then there's more to vibrate.
More to vibrate, more to work with just in physics, not just the vibrations, but just chemical reactions, all that stuff. Our air reaction against the lip plate, everything's different. It's all heat and stuff like that that's transferring differently than with a traditional cut head joint.
Nice.
Those are those intricacies in there. So when you express that saying like being more open and have a more larger palette of sound, it's actually because there's more head joint as well being put inside this material. Metal, yeah. There's more
vibrating.
Metal. Yeah, that's right.
So then you can get that extra.
You can get that extra stuff, that extra space of playing. Very interesting in physics and stuff like that. So if you have that chance, try a couple head joints.
And ask questions about the cut and then figure out what you prefer. Like maybe if you're person who plays multiple instruments, let's say you're a saxophone player and you dub on the flute, maybe you want a head joint that just is a bit more like reliable, sends the air there and you get your sound.
Yeah.
Whereas if you play, you're doing your masters in classical flute, you might want a different type of head joint.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It depends on your needs.
Totally depends on your needs.
Yeah. And then on your own way of playing, I guess.
Well, what you're going to discover for sure is you're going to find out what type of head joint works for you.
Yeah.
If you go through all of them, you're going to find out that maybe a CY head joint or whatever they're called, whatever label they are, that might be your tendency. So don't be afraid of asking questions, them giving you all that stuff so that you can figure out what the next stage is. Because for sure, if you've only been on a beginner flute and now you're looking for an intermediate flute, you've been playing on a flute that has a very standard head joint for sure. I could say with confidence. So you're going to be definitely feeling new things when you play on these new head joints for sure, because they're not going to be as designed. They're going to be designed better. They're going to be designed with more of a professional quality and a more of a direction to what the artist wants to do.
And I think that a lot of intermediate flute sounds very, very good.
They're very good.
Yeah.
Past 10, 15 years the quality has gone very, very high. We should not cut them out. They are very good flutes, very reliable for decades and decades if you take good care of them.
My flute is 30, almost, it's 28 years old.
28 years old, yeah. So
it's almost 30 years old.
So you see,
and I've been playing it a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
A lot.
So and that's the flute you've been hearing on the channel this whole time. So
yeah.
You know. So we have a follow-up, which is great. In the case that I want to end a phrase with a diminuendo, how do I keep my tone clear without making them sound airy and squeezed?
Okay.
Fantastic. Diminuendo
on the flute is very difficult.
Yes, it's one of the most difficult things to do. You got to practice it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to first be comfortable playing loud and soft.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's the first thing.
That's the first thing.
Like if you can't play soft by itself, then how are you gonna?
Yeah.
Like that's the next step. It's like you don't know let's say you don't understand multiplications and divisions, and we're asking you to do fractions. You know what I mean? Like you are not gonna get it. Like
exactly.
How are you gonna understand that 75% is 3/4 if you don't understand divisions? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can't play just loud and soft, Okay, so first thing, you play loud, you need more air. You play soft, you need less air.
Yeah.
By doing that, you're going to affect the intonation because less air means it's going to be flat. So you have to counteract that by changing the angle of the air a little bit and making the hole smaller so that the air gets in the same spot so it's not flat. It's a bit like I always talk about the analogy with the hose. So you have a lot of water coming out of your hose and it's getting to a certain place. You get less water, it's going to go closer to you. So if you put your finger and you close the hole a little bit, you make it smaller, then it's going to get to the same place. So you want that. So you're going to have to open your lips for the loud and close them for the soft. And also, like, there's a little movement of my chin and, you know, it goes like for loud. And it goes a bit forward for the soft. So I bring it back for loud. Okay, so there's this little movement. There's a lot of air. And less air. So let's say I play a little bit. I'm gonna do it on a low G. So I play loud. I send it more down and I go. Make a big sound, a lot of air, a lot of like I say because your throat is really open. You can use different vowels, it helps. So then I play softly and I'll use or oo. And I have the same intonation, pretty much like not. You hear now I was flat. You don't want that. If you have to use a tuner, make sure you're pretty much in the same place. You know, it's going to help you to see it because sometimes we don't hear it right away. When we see it, we're like, oh, I hear it now. I saw that a lot in students, that the visual cue
was the aid.
Helps them hear it. And then they're like, oh, that's what I was hearing and not really getting. Great. So there's that. So start by being able to play loud and soft. Then you can practice doing crescendos and decrescendos on notes. It's easier to do a crescendo. So I'll do a crescendo on G. And at the end, when you do your decrescendo, you have to push so much with your abs and like so that the air goes faster.
Yeah, amazing.
So do crescendo and decrescendo when you practice that on one note because you the crescendo is easier, but then you know you have to do the opposite to get back on your decrescendo. You know, I would start by practicing that. And it's going to go like, and you lose that thing where it becomes just air at the end. So it's going to do that in the beginning. And it's okay. And you have to accept that. And then you're going to try to notice when it happens so you can kind of stop the sound just before. You know, like if I do a decrescendo. So now I see where it is. So I stop just before it, you know. It requires a lot of energy. And that's what's so counterintuitive. Because you would think that it requires less energy to play soft.
Right. But it's not.
But it's the opposite.
It's the opposite. More intensity is needed.
It's easy to just open everything and go.
But what happens there is the beginning is like.
Then you have to.
You gotta
so much effort with your belly, and that's what you have to do.
What's a really good way, and I think you just said it was, and a great way to practicing is it without the flute is wherever you are, practice getting everything out of your lungs. Like you go, even if there's a stop, just blow everything out. Get that sensation because that's the sensation you need. In a way. It's develop a resistance. That's how it helps me when I do it.
That's good for
'cause you
the
wanna-
blowing, but it's not gonna help. Like it's not gonna be enough for the
No,
whole
it's just a beginning.
sound
It's just a
stuff.
beginning
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And but that's a great question. We're in the halfway point. I just wanted to say to everybody that we do this, like you said, every last Sunday of every month. And also we have musigy.com where we have our 2 flute methods where you can go and check that out. And all of our other sheet music and all that stuff as well. And also our Patreon where our community is there and you can find all of our stuff commercial free and you can talk with us there. It's a nice little community. We really like it. And you can get that at patreon.com/theflutechannel. And what else do we have going on?
We have some
merch as well. You can go to the merch store at the store.theflutechannel.com and find our merch there. Posters and leggings, whatever you like, it's all there. And yeah, I think that's about it. And also just the Flute Channel. If you're on the YouTube and you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, come and subscribe over at the Flute Channel on YouTube. We really appreciate it. We're almost at 200,000 subscribers, which is crazy.
God, that's amazing.
Yeah, like 25,000 subscribers, and we're going to be up to 200,000. Amazing, amazing, amazing. All because of you guys, and we love doing that. And they're going to do a lot of amazing things this year, and we always appreciate your support, whether you're watching us or on the Patreon or on our website.
Yeah.
So we're going to answer 2 more questions and get things rolling. Angel Devil says here, so I've been playing for 4 years and I've been trying to work on my tone in the last year, but it still sounds airy. Would a different head joint help, or is it just me?
I don't know. I haven't seen you play.
Yeah, we have to see you play and hear you play. Send us a link. If you mention us in your videos and stuff like that, we see them on YouTube. So if you link us, we'll definitely see it, and then we can listen in on you later on.
Yeah, we should do, I know I've been talking about it. We didn't organize it yet, but
No.
a little masterclass type of thing
Yeah,
where
an online
we can work
masterclass.
with people
And work
that
with
would be
us and work
nice.
with others. We're going to work that out soon. And if you guys are interested in something like that,
let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we would love to.
Like have a little day, a flute,
flute day.
half day or flute day where
flute day
people
with
can
everybody.
play and I can see, and then it's easier for me to answer.
Yeah.
What I would say is, if you want to know, maybe try different head joints. Then I would say the same thing that I said for the first question, that maybe try to play your best notes. Look in the mirror, look at your mouth, and then try to stay pretty much like that for the whole, all your notes.
Yeah.
Your best note is probably the head, the position you should have.
Yeah.
The embouchure you should have. But what I see a lot is people smiling, doing like that. That's tight. Also think that you have to play it with a V, like you're sending the air on a specific spot on the embouchure.
Yeah, it's a direct,
You know, it's not
so
like,
good.
it's
No,
not
it's
a
not
V
open,
outside, it's a V inside.
Yeah.
So there's that. Remember what I said about bringing the lips down, and then maybe those muscles are not developed yet. So you might have to look in the mirror and go like this and then work on those muscles.
Because
there's that.
Yeah.
And then it's probably less embouchure work than you think. A lot of people move a lot and then so is it more in the low or in the high, or but I would say use a mirror and try to be aware, like you listen and you look and you try to figure out what sounds good and go back to that, and when it sounds bad, look as well and then go in the opposite direction. That's data, that's information.
That's information.
Like when it sounds bad, it's still teaching you something. So it's
totally,
we can be frustrated about it and get tensed and not learn from it, or we can be calm about it and say, oh, here's some information. What I'm doing doesn't seem to be working.
Right.
And if you're getting frustrated, just stop. Just stop. Go back to it another day.
Take a little break. Your brain might need just a little bit of a...
For sure, you're not going to sound good if you're stressed out and angry.
Yeah.
So the flute, I've always said, is a happy instrument. You can't can you, I don't know, for myself, it's
Mm-hmm.
maybe now it's possible because I've played so much, but
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, I couldn't play if I was angry or if I was like,
Right.
because you have to have an open throat.
Totally.
You have to go,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can't do that like when
No,
it's
no,
closed. But
totally.
I guess now I can just do it on command. But and I guess like it kind of goes both ways because I play the flute and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Basically, like I can't be. It's a bit like, you know, like try jumping on a trampoline and be sad. You know,
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
almost
yeah.
impossible.
Yeah, it's almost impossible. Yeah, be depressed on a trampoline. That's depressive. If you're really depressed, that's
Yeah.
depressing.
You're just not gonna go on the trampoline. But
Yeah.
once you're jumping, like, but I feel like that with my flute.
Yeah.
If I play it, it kind of, yeah, it kind of makes me happy.
Yeah, 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 totally.
Because it's an open, like, you have to
Yeah.
have an open throat. You have to maybe also try singing in your flute.
Mm-hmm.
That opens the throat and that makes everything vibrate. Also, if you have access to a piccolo, I think playing the piccolo is so good for the flute sound because it's smaller and it's more, it requires a lot of airspeed and direction.
Mm-hmm.
So when I haven't played for a little while, I play on the piccolo, or even sometimes I just play a piece that I'm playing on the flute. I play it on the piccolo, then I take my flute and I feel the sound is better.
Yeah, because I think also like if you're having a bad tone day, just go play on the piccolo because that will tell you if you're really having a bad tone day. Because the worst sound I find personally is an airy piccolo.
Yeah.
I mean, if your piccolo is airy and that means you're not directing your air. That's your signifying tell. That's your tell.
And you have to support.
Yes.
So then when you take your flute, it's like,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a piccolo, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's just some. Don't worry about that. So yeah, last question, and guys, everybody, ladies, everybody, what a great shows today. Like really great questions. I'm really loving it.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips? This is from Flamingo123. Do you have any tips for people who are double jointed? I've been playing for almost 3 years and I've made so much progress, but I feel like the only thing holding me back is that.
That means that your articulations go backwards?
Correct. I think that's what that means. If you could correct us, that's great, but I think that's what that is.
I've had a piano student that had a problem like that, and he had a little orthotics prescribed by a doctor that was holding like his pinky so it wouldn't like go backwards. So I know there's like little braces for the fingers.
Yes, my finger locks and my thumb bends backwards. Oh, thanks for clearing that for us.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's like, let's say for your left thumb, because it's holding the flute and you don't want it to completely bend backwards, if there's something you could put on your thumb. Like my student's thing that he had was like 2 rings that were together.
Yeah.
2 or 3 rings, and it was like holding
him.
Made
wow, that's great. Found a solution.
Yeah, maybe a thumb port would help because you wouldn't have to push forward on the flute, but you would just have to put your flute on the thumb. I feel like also, like, I'm not double jointed, so maybe my what I'll say won't be helpful, but feeling like you use your muscles to bring your fingers back in the right position, not just letting it go. That's why also I talk about not being too relaxed, because too relaxed, you know. So there's that. Then your moving fingers, they're not supposed to have to work hard. You don't have to press very hard. So you shouldn't get to the level where it goes on the other direction. Like if you take your flute and you say like, okay, how hard do I have to press? It's very light. And you should use
very light.
the lightest amount, like to just do the job. Because like sometimes people press really hard. It slows you down, and also it's going to make your joints go backwards. Whereas if you just put the minimum effort, it's not. Because if you look at the flute, like really, even your pinky is not supposed to be supporting your flute. So I see people that have the pinky go backwards. I'm like, you're not even supposed to.
That's not supposed to do anything. No. It's not supposed to have anything.
And if your key is hard and you do have to then go to the technician and say, my key is way too hard here. There's even like, let's say the way I like my flute. I like it very soft. Like I don't like when there's resistance.
Yeah.
It's not bouncy.
Yeah.
It's like super easy to
light,
play.
yeah.
You like it a bit more bouncy. You
A
put
little
more
bouncy, yeah. A
resistance
little
in
bit,
yours.
yeah, totally.
So that too can be like, sometimes maybe you can tell that to the technician, be like, can you make
These,
it as
as
soft,
fluid or as soft or as
yeah,
least resistant as possible.
least resistant.
Yeah.
And then it's all about like maybe feeling how much weight you really need. You need so little.
So little.
And your
for the flute.
pinky shouldn't be holding your flute.
It almost has to be as light
It's
as
just,
on a recorder where there's no mechanism.
yeah, it's light.
Yeah. Because that's how you get that sound. How do you think a recorder sounds so crisp and clean? Because it's just, there's no mechanism, just the
I
fingers.
saw that a lot on piano students too. Like they press hard, whereas like it's only a couple of grams to press a key. And then even more funny, once the key is down, they continue to press, but the sound is done. But it's a bit the same with the flute. Like if you're already like this, how is it helpful to press more? You're just gonna get your pads more used and stuff because you're pressing so hard on them, they're gonna break, you know. But I'm not saying you're doing that. No. I'm just saying like maybe that's something you can look at into. Maybe have things that you add on your flute, like a thumb port or even a gizmo. What is it called? A bebop.
All those things,
So that everything's a bit easier. Maybe also like a brace on your thumb. If like there can be I've had a student with, she would use like little braces for her her hands, and it helped her a lot because she had a little bit of arthritis, and it made a big difference.
I bet.
So whatever helps, you know, you don't want to restrict your movement, but yeah.
Well, like I said, I actually knew somebody who was double jointed in all of their fingers, and they were a flutist. And I want to congratulate her, whoever's doing this right now, and the person who made the comment. Like, it's great that you're practicing and doing that, because it's fine. Like you said, the hand thing where you were talking about the shape, she said the exact same thing. My friend, my friend that I knew, it's the best thing, the shape thing.
To go in the wrong direction.
And hers did.
So the way I corrected it, but it's not a huge thing for me, but I've
for them,
seen people who have worse than I do. Yeah. And by thinking about that, it decreased.
Yep.
Because when I was younger, it was worse.
Yeah, it was.
But by always thinking about using my muscles to make the shape, it made it better. Because I guess the more you let it go, the more it goes that way. The more you build up your muscles and you get the right shape, the more your body gets used to that and goes back to that.
Yeah, and like that person worked on their technique so much that I honestly can't tell you, they had the fastest technique I've ever heard in my life. Maybe it has nothing to do with the double jointedness. Maybe it was just because of the effort of trying to reverse all that stuff that's happening to her hands. But man, I could not understand how faster than anybody I've ever heard. Like just
because
fantastic.
she was probably, like we were saying, you know how a recorder goes fast because there's no mechanism. Well, it was probably the same thing. Like she probably was putting as little weight as possible. By doing that, the movements are smaller. Everything's faster.
And things are just moving.
So like that problem that she had became her strength because she used tools to counteract it.
Yeah. So there you go. There's our 2 cents for that stuff. I thought that's so interesting. We have a couple more little comments we'll answer. We'll just take a look 1 second here. Oh, Jamin wants to know, could it help to improve my diminuendo by practicing on my piccolo, thus working with my embouchure?
Oh yeah, for sure.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and practice I think practicing crescendo, decrescendo should be part of almost a daily practice. You take a couple of notes and you do it, and you put your tuner, and you know the muscles are gonna get more, and like you'll know how to do it because you've been doing it every day on one note, and you're just thinking about that thing. So then when you put it in a phrase, you're gonna be like, yeah, it's easy. It's just that.
Totally. Flamingo wanted to know what's the difference between a lot of those devices like the thumb port and bebop. Well, the bebop, it's more for the left hand.
Yeah.
around the index finger, and then thumb ports are usually for the right hand and for the thumb.
I have a thumb port
Yeah,
here.
we have a thumb port
So the
here.
thumb port is for the right hand.
Yeah.
And you put it on your flute.
Yeah.
And then you put your flute.
Yeah.
You put the thumb port on your thumb, and it just holds there. So you're not pushing. It makes it way easier.
Yeah.
Then the bebop, I don't have one, but I might get one.
Yep.
For because I'd like to make a video about all those
devices.
Things.
Yeah, we're gonna get a whole bucket of them. Yeah.
And it kind of directs your finger, like you put your finger in there.
It gives direction, yeah.
And it just holds it there.
Instead of moving around everywhere on the
Because some people they slide and all that, so that helps with that. Yeah. If you slide, some people put medical tape.
Yeah, medical tape,
or some people put a little
bunion
gel
tape, the gel thing for the feet.
Like when I play the piccolo, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what, but I didn't have pain before. But now sometimes I have a little bit of pain where
because you're pressing.
There's a little vein going there.
It's a nerve.
Well, I don't know. I see
we have nerves
because,
everywhere. Yeah.
Because I see the blue vein under.
Okay.
And when I press there with my piccolo, like because it's smaller, it's more concentrated. The weight.
The point. Yeah.
And now. After when I take my flute, I'm like, ouch, I'm a bit, maybe because I practice less, I don't know. My body's like, I don't really like it. So I might get some of those things, at least for the piccolo, because on the piccolo, I feel it more than on the flute. Yeah. So one is for the right hand, one is for the left hand.
Yeah, that's right.
You have a different thumb port that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but
the one that's it's like a big shelf. It's like a.
And this way you're.
Yeah, that's made by another company. Sometimes I use that one, but we'll put that in the review.
Yeah,
I forget what it's called.
We'll make a video about different things that you can use on your flute.
Because the flute is one of the least ergonomic instruments. Like when you look at a saxophone, you can tell that it was built for hands because it's like a menace. Like it's like things poking out everywhere, and you have to put your hands in specific spots. Like if only the flute was built like that.
Well, you have to put your hands in specific spots. It just rocks.
It just rocks. Yeah. It rocks back and forth. The flute. It's a real nightmare. So use tools. Tools help. Doesn't cheat. You have to use something that fits to your needs of being an artist and doing all that. So thanks everybody for all the questions and comments. Like I said, we'll be here at the end of end of May for last Sunday of May. And we'll also have a Just Practicing and a new video coming out this week too. So stay tuned for that. And if you guys have any more questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below under this video. Or if you're listening to this not live on a podcast of your choice or on YouTube, subscribe and also follow us on your podcast of choice as well. And also review us on Apple Podcasts. That helps us too. We have several reviews there too that we get.
Oh, we should read one next time.
Yeah, we'll read one next time. I like reading them out. So if any of you guys are listening to this and want to go and give us a review, we'll read them out next time. So thanks everybody so much. And we'll talk to everybody next time. Happy practicing and see you guys.
Yeah, see you.